And joining us is the public safety reporter with the Post-Gazette, Laura Esposito. Laura, good morning.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
So your job, obviously, reporting around the region about safety issues, it becomes more challenging on a day like this where you have high winds, so anything wet with dropping temperatures can glaze things over, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And, these projects that happen, whether it be road projects or when public safety issues arise, can often be postponed with inclement weather.
I know this issue, obviously, with the missing woman, Elizabeth Pollard, that occurred Monday night, Unity Township in Westmoreland County. It would be hard to know that there would be a sinkhole developed over an old mine shaft, and they've turned what they hoped was a rescue operation into a recovery mission. Anything to add to that? Because a lot of people are wondering, how could this happen?
Yeah. So state troopers announced last night in the evening that what they hoped was a search and rescue mission would now become a recovery mission. They said they were still holding out for a glimmer of hope, but, it was a very, very emotional time at the site of that sinkhole for both the family and for the law enforcement, who repeatedly just kept saying, it feels like we failed. State Trooper Steve Lamani said that it was the most intricate and complex rescue he's seen in his 26-year career because of this abandoned mine that spans for miles underneath Marguerite Road in Unity Township. Right now, it's an ongoing effort, to still recover Miss Pollard and do right by her family. But at the same time, there is cause for concern because there's several other areas, with where the abandoned mine stands that have now been deemed unsafe, that have now been deemed, this could have happened in other places as well, was the sentiment that was being expressed. And, all across Pennsylvania, we have a lot of areas with these types of abandoned mines, which pose a really big public safety issue.
Yeah, we've seen this because of the extent of mining in the region. There are many areas where this is a potential issue, but how would you know?
Unfortunately, oftentimes you don't. So with this situation in Marguerite, a sinkhole actually appeared above the site of the Marguerite mine in Unity Township, before. And this is something that, we have the Bureau of Mine. It falls under the Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protections. They have said that they are looking into this issue, but with the vast amount of mines throughout Pennsylvania, it's difficult. And unfortunately, it's more reactionary than preventative at times.
Yeah, in this case, we understand Ms. Pollard had a 5-year-old granddaughter in a car that fortunately shaken up but not injured and safe. But I can't imagine what this family's going through.
So state police had spoke with the family last night. They said that the family understands why the mission has shifted and that they get it, but it was just, obviously emotional, and there hasn't been any reported signs of life, and there's been no news. So her car was found right near the scene, right near the sinkhole with, her 5-year-old granddaughter inside, and her family has been on site most days while these crews have been working. But I mean, it really has been incredible the way the community has pulled together for that family. There's been a restaurant set up right near the side of the sinkhole that's just been operating around the clock, providing food for first responders. And, something that really struck me was I don't think people truly understand the scope of how dangerous going into that sinkhole was, in general. They had to stop sending swimming crews out there once the roof of the abandoned mine, they believed that it had collapsed early yesterday. And before that, though, it was, a lot of first responders are risking their lives, and a lot of people were doing, the community was really coming together to try and find Miss Pollard, and that work doesn't stop.